Detective Carnby, where did you go?
I was just talking to Dr. Gray.
You disappeared.
No, it's not what you think. Have you found anything strange going on here?
Yes. Everyone is being incredibly evasive and I can't figure out why.
No, I mean something you can't explain. Paranormal, even.
Detective, I really need you to get yourself together. I can't do this alone.
Forget it. I'll figure it out.
Do you want to come see Dr. Gray?
No, I want to try something. With this talisman, I think I can follow Jeremy to the place he mentioned in the book. What was the name? Do you remember something Spanish? Teruella. Yeah, that's where I need to go.
Detective, are you gonna be all right?
Yeah, of course. Go talk to Dr. Gray. We'll rendezvous later. This talisman brought me back from the French Quarter in the blink of an eye. If Jeremy can travel so easily, then he could be hiding anywhere, even Teruella. If he can do it, so can I. I just need to figure out how the talisman works.
Saw your notice in the boiler room. You should know Mr. Chance won't be coming back. I got no business being in there myself, but you can take a valve from the wine cellar if you want to try to stop the steam pouring out. Be careful.
Dr. Elmore Lee Gray is DeSeto's chief doctor. Accounting and all administrative work is handled by me, Paul Waits. Magdalena Thompson, or
Paul, you're right about the plates on the boiler and the clock. They have been sabotaged, and I think I know who did it. They have something to do with Jeremy's episodes and how he seems to disappear at night. Right now, it's important that you keep an eye out for any of the pieces. I want to find out if I can repair the plates. Let me know if you find any of them. Lottie.
Tell Lottie to take a look at the well in the kitchen garden.
I need the key. Looks like all the patients are accounted for, except for Jeremy. There's no way I can get into this thing. Better leave it alone. I need the key.
Lost Plantations of Louisiana, Thierry Briclot, 1917. Derceto was a small plantation on the eastern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The land was considered difficult for industry and was sold for only $30 to Elijah Pickford in 1818. Pickford employed hundreds of workers from nearby New Orleans to clear the woods and build a small plantation mansion facing the lake with a striking Greek Revival temple facade. Derceto kept a modest production of barrique tobacco and indigo that persisted up till the Civil War. During the antebellum era, Derceto was the source of many rumors concerning voodoo and witchcraft. People who traveled the lake reported seeing people dance at night in front of bonfires, bleating and wailing. On June 17, 1862, Captain J.W. Norton of the Union Army recounts leading a raiding party from ships anchored in Lake Pontchartrain in order to seize control of Derceto and free the slaves working there. The captain was surprised to find the workers fighting back with unprecedented zeal. Norton's account describes these men and women as enraged with fanaticism. Pickford reportedly tried to placate the raiders, but was shot in the confusion. Captain Norton left the mansion burning and retreated to his ships with his men. Derceto was left in ruins for several decades. The ownership of the land was long disputed and returned to the Ledoux family in 1901. Several police reports were filed during the following years as the Ledoux tried to get rid of a camp of squatters on their land. The police made several visits to remove the trespassers, but the people kept returning. On November 1, 1907, Inspector Legrasse of the police charged a deadly attack in order to save several children kidnapped by the squatters. Many were killed and even more were jailed. The following year, Ledoux rebuilt Derceto, incorporating the surviving stone foundation and adding a magnificent wrought iron conservatory. The farmland had been reclaimed by the surrounding woods, so it was no longer profitable to use as a plantation. Instead, the house was turned into an artist's colony. The Astarte Artist Colony was a successful group of artists, including figures such as painter Heinrich Cassel and poet Nora Keith. The group was also known for their beloved Mardi Gras crew called the Pirates of Pontchartrain. On September 29, 1915, a tropical hurricane tore through Louisiana, causing Lake Pontchartrain to flood New Orleans. Due to the remote location of Derceto, it took almost 2 weeks for outsiders to learn that the artist's colony was abandoned. The 12 residing artists had all vanished without a trace. The empty mansion of Derceto still stands on the shore of Lake Pontchartrain, with much of its temple facade intact. The Ledoux family currently has no intention of repairing the house.
I like games where you need to read books because it sets a different pace. It's not an action game and the player can be more immersed in the story. There are 2 reasons for the book in the original game. The first one was to add another layer of horror, to try to put more scary things in the head, in the mind of the player. The other reason is to give clue, to give information to the player to be able to solve the puzzles.
It's wedged shut.
One of the big challenge of the game was how to scare the player. What I did find at this time is that I needed to scare the player with what he is doing most of the time. I mean moving, opening doors. So that's why there is this trapdoor in the first corridor that you cannot avoid. It was just to put a pressure. It just happened once in the game, but I was sure that since this moment the player was just scared to move in the game. Same thing for opening a door. The second door in the game, you can find a monster behind it. There is even a book that you can die from just reading it, which is something you need to do often in the game. So the pressure was constant on the player.
What happened? Everything's normal again? Right. Got it. Okay.
Mr. Waits. I saw a piece of the plate that Liza broke. I think she's been hiding them. She's not very good at it. She just chucked it into the little room with all the tools behind the boiler. I left it there. I didn't want to embarrass her by picking it up while she was looking. We went upstairs instead and played backgammon. I let her win, because she's so unhappy. The piece looked like the one on display in Cassandra's room. You know about that one already, right? Or is your eyesight really that fuzzy? I hope you don't feel bad about your glasses. You only look stupid when you squint. Maybe if you had more eyes, you would see these things. I wish you had all the eyes you needed. Your best and favorite guest, Grace.
It's stained. Looks like some kind of rot. It's another plate for the talisman. Like the other one, it's broken and missing some pieces. I need the key.
While Detective Comby was grateful to be back at Derceto, he was eager to test his hypothesis. After having suffered through that sinister world, dressed as the French Quarter, Jeremy's writing could be read.
What are you doing in my kitchen? I assure you. No,
I'm sorry.
I promise you. Mr. Hartwood is
I was just
nowhere
looking
near my
for-
kitchen, and neither should you be. Don't make me
I didn't
kick you
mean
out
to-
of this house.
Sorry.
Now get out!
Yeah. I need the key.
When we talked about how we should fill up the second floor foyer, we discussed ideas such as a billiard table or some other kind of leisure props, but we went for adding these nightmarish statues you can see here, which is made or sculpted by Jeremi. And they are heavily inspired by Giacometti, Alberto Giacometti.
If you play the original game as Emily Hartwood, the opening text will say, "That creaking old mansion with its unusual tales, its secret library door, the ancient upstairs clock." So the ancient upstairs clock became this puzzle item. And this is pretty much how a lot of the important things in our game came to be. Basically looking at something that was mentioned or featured in the original game and then blew it out of proportion and made something new with it.
And actually in the original game there was a clock that you need to push to discover an item, like in the first Resident Evil, by the way.
So here we have the first puzzle disc, which is made in a Japanese style called kintsugi, which means golden repair, which we thought was pretty picturing for what we wanted to tell with the plate. The golden relief, or the repair, creates the star sign Taurus, which is something Mike will talk more about in the lore. But it's a very important part of the game.
I need the key.
Yeah, sorry, Detective. Didn't mean to obstruct justice or anything.
That's fine.
You know, I'm kind of busy with my own case of a missing person. I was wondering if you've seen Grace, girl about yay high?
I can't say that I have. Why are you asking?
Well, I'm looking for her.
Is she in trouble?
No. She's just hiding somewhere. But we can't have a rascal like that running around unchecked at a time like this, you understand?
Well, I haven't seen her.
Well, let me know if you find her. I'll be around. I'll keep an eye out for your man, Jeremi. You scratch my back, Detective, and I'll scratch yours.
Looks like everything's back to normal here.
Emily's here.
For Baptiste's room, we went with a really rough patina, and because he is a big guy, he's very practical and stoic, and he also likes to box a lot, and he has his leisure things. He reads his magazines, listens to his radio, and smoking cigars, and so we try to get that going in his room.
Huh. How eccentric. What are these symbols? Looks like alchemy or star constellations.
I did it! I crossed the thresholds to my intended destination without a focusing device. My talisman now knows these roads, and I have no need for the plates. I can find my way to Lafayette as easy as I find my own room. I visited the grave of my father and seen the oven waiting for me. Thank you for opening these doors. I now must summon my courage and go back to that hateful mound outside the oil rig. I hope you'll be feeling better when I return. Jeremy.
These paintings got some grim-looking rot on them. The Astarte Artist Colony. I remember hearing about their disappearance. Must have been 15 years or more now.
In contrast to Baptiste's room, which is very simple and rough, we have Peros's room, the opera singer, and she is very vain and she is focusing much on her beauty. And we have the centerpiece of the bed with the bed canopy, and we try to get as much as possible of the music into her set dressing.
Will I need to remember how to get them out again? They are locked up for good reason. I am sure she is still able to whisper the answer in the ears of the wrong people. But not for long. I will see her burned soon enough. That black goat will be sacrificed to put an end to it all. Then it will all be over. No more Derceto, and sadly no Astarte. Those good pirates of Pontchartrain. May you still sail the lake until you find the shores of Hali.
And of course, some of the furnitures are Italian inspired. And her colors would be terracotta and cream and earthy.
Got it. I think I've seen this somewhere. What the hell is going on? There was something in the commonplace book about this. I need the key. think the clock broke. Or maybe it just stopped at a very precise place.
Detective Conby had a hard time understanding what had happened. It did feel similar to when he was pulled into the French Quarter, but with less power and purpose. Did he cause this, or was it something else?
I'm not gonna walk out of this now. I need to help Emily save her uncle. I need the key.
it's wedged shut.
I need the key. I need the key. I need the key. There's no way I can get into this thing. Better leave it alone. I need the key. There's a picture in the black glass. It's showing me something. It's the hallway outside Jeremy's room. I made it. I entered another one of Jeremy's memories. Ugh.
May 1923, Monday. All okay, ready for delivery. Maintenance, oil pump must be serviced. Any tampering causes large spills unless properly forestalled. Tuesday, shipment delayed but delivered. Maintenance, service bridge close to broken. Wednesday, prospectors reluctantly agreed to show the burial mound to Mr. Hotwood, a painter, who read about our finds in the papers. He means to return tomorrow and try to find a way inside. Thursday. Mr. Hartwood's efforts delayed. The workers seemed nervous about his presence. Hartwood promised not to return to the compound. Instead, he has taken up an offer by l'officier, the riverboat captain, who means to pilot him to the site tomorrow morning. Hopefully that's the end, and work can resume. Maintenance. Bridge from the oil tower to the bayou has collapsed. Sabotage suspected.
This is the devil that guides us now.
Huh. I need the key.
For the oil rig level, we put all houses on stilts because in the real world the houses would be standing on stilts because of all the water and the flooding.
Locked. There's something missing. pretty weak. I just need something to break it. All right. Now what? Yeah, come on, baby. I'd rather fall to your death than go up in flames.
The mound is an expanded idea from the vertical slice and early proof of concept of the game,
It's the hate.
which made it into the final game as well. At the beginning, it was the lair of a witch. The player needed
Don't come any closer. I'm armed.
Get that thing out of my face.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm just a detective trying to find something called Teruea.
You're after Jeremy too? Why?
I'm working for his niece. She wants to make sure he's all right.
He might be unharmed, but far from all right. He's a curse upon Deseto.
Here we go again.
What?
Oh, Christ in heaven.
Reflections on the Power of the Verb in Certain Texts by Juan Luis Jorge. To act is in itself divine. Even the slightest movement of our hand is evidence of our soul in motion. Yet our free will is so easily overwhelmed by the dullness of everyday life. Our actions become rote and rigid in spite of luxury and comfort. True divinity is found in the choice of leaving the stage where we all perform. People who discover this freedom unexpectedly will be struck by the terror of this revelation and become paralyzed, or worse, turn to suicide. However, if you are able to weather that storm, you will discover that there is a divine path beyond that fear. There is a chance to dismount your destiny and make something new. Something that hasn't been planned for or predestined. There is difficulty in explaining this type of acting as it transcends our everyday choices. This isn't some banal decision choosing one career over the other, or even who I should marry. Leaving the stage, no matter how, isn't a matter of course correction. It's a rejection of the story that the creator is telling.
It's wedged shut. It worked.
The significance of the constellation of towers may seem a bit opaque, but in my mind it all comes down to another symbol for the good and the evil within Jeremy, and in turn all of us. There are two things we find in that constellation that is of interest to us. First, the star Aldebaran. We often just call it the dark sun, which is a representation of Nyarlathotep, and
The Barlow lens. Instructions. To double the magnification of your telescope, simply fit this
presence of the dark man. In the same constellation we also find the Pleiades, which is said to house the great library of Celano, which in our game is called Taroea. So, all in all, in this cosmic bowl we find darkness in the Aldebaran and the light in Celano. Or in the terms of our game, in this celestial creature we find the dark man as well as Juan, the ultimate enemy and the ultimate ally, as manifested by Jeremy. Finally, of course, what is a star constellation if not an effort to establish order out of the chaos that is nature, which is why the final puzzle of the game is rebuilding the constellation of towers.
I don't think I have everything I need. Now we're talking. Huh? What? Oh.
The original game was set in 1920 because this is a very convenient time. Everything looks familiar, houses, furnitures, but there is no technology which can mess up a lot of things in the gameplay. So this was very convenient.
It worked. Jeremy? What the hell is going on here? Where's the body?
We were quite lucky at this time. A lot of new technology arrived, like the Sound Blaster card that allows us to put sample in the game. So Philippe, the musician, had to make all the sounds in the game with its mics to try to make the game feel realistic.
Conby didn't know what to make of the grotesque vision of the dead clerk. Was he dead, or was it all fiction?
There's something missing. This must be that kid's room.
Don't you worry, Grace. Go play your game, bleat and bellow with the others. I won't be jealous. There will be more masquerades. However, I would love it if you would finish my mask for the feast. With love, Ruth.
Why does she seem so familiar? Huh.
Certain areas in the Tercero is designed to look very distinctly different in themes, designs and color palettes. And we referenced David Lynch and Wes Anderson pretty much to get some kind of
What you got there? You drawing something?
Nothing special. I'm just bored.
Do I know you from somewhere?
I remember you, Mr. Conby.
From where?
Don't touch that. Cassandra wouldn't like it. She wouldn't like it at all.
Do you know where she is?
I'd rather not talk about it. It makes me upset. Besides, she'll be back after the Feast of St. John.
You think?
Yup. It's all on the page, Mr. Conby. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
All right.
I'm gonna go now, if that's okay. I don't like to stay too long in the same place. Mr. McCoffey might find me.
Hey. Is he mean to you?
Not everyone needs to be saved, Mr. Conby. You should know that by now.
Miss Beauregard, I picked up your medicine at the post office today. As you understand, it needs to be administered by the orderlies for your safety. I've put the box in Lottie's room for now, and I'm sure she will find you as soon as possible. Mr. Waits.
So this is where Cassandra Beauregard ended up. It's another one of those strange padlocks. rot again, like it's guiding me to do something. But what? If I find the full set of bottles, then maybe I can make something out of the stains of rot. black glass is showing another room. Must be a way to another one of Jeremy's memories.
I knew it. I knew it would work. You're getting good at this, Carnby. Maybe
The cemetery level is inspired by Lafayette Cemetery and the St. Louis No. 3 Cemetery in New Orleans. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to visit them in person due to the pandemic. But I think we got a real good representation of them in the game. And we also added some spice to emphasize the overall theme of nature taking over.
Oh, I like this place. It reminds me a lot the old movies from the 70s and 80s, which are one of the big inspiration for the original game, especially Amityville Horror and Dawn of the Dead.
The Hartwood's family crypt. Emily's family must have deeper roots in New Orleans than I thought. I figured she was a Yankee like me. What's this? Now, what do we got here? That can't be right. That can't be right. got it. Jeremy sketched this chapel in his book, so it must be important. Looks like I'll need more medallions to open it, though. I don't think I have everything I need. right here.
Thank God that's over.
That can't be right. That can't be right.
It was the chapel Jeremy.
That can't be right.
Please don't touch her.
Jeremy, what are you doing here? Everyone's looking for you.
I know, it's all a big mess. No one understands. I'm just trying to keep evil at bay. Just for a little while longer.
You've got to come back with me. Your niece is waiting at Derceto.
Emily? Why would you... My letter. I keep making it worse.
What is going on, Jeremy? How is any of this happening?
I made a terrible promise with someone.
The Dark Man. Who is he?
No, don't say his name. He can hear us. He's always listening.
Jeremy, I need to understand what is going on.
I promised him everything. When the sun rises, I will be chained in his sunken desert temple for an eternity. But at least the evil about to awaken and to settle won't harm anyone outside of that cursed place.
You're acting crazy, Jeremy. I want to help.
There's nothing you can do.
Then what's all the business about Teruea? Why did you want to go there?
Well, I can't go there. I'm not allowed.
But you wanted to. Can I go? Tell me, will it help me to break your pact? Is there something there that would help?
Why would you give me hope? That's so cruel.
Okay, sounds like we're onto something here. What should I—
Look out! Behind you! Run! Don't let him take you! I've seen so many strange occurrences lately. Memories explode into existence and then burn out like tired glass bulb filaments. Dreamscapes crash down from the stars and sink into the sea. Doors that lead to nowhere and absolutely everywhere at once. With all this reverie, I want to think there's a chance that you found a way to remain alive in some way I cannot fathom. Just like I've learned to navigate with my talisman. Maybe you, with all your knowledge, you somehow knew a way to find me again, perhaps in Teruea. All my love, Jeremy.
She's dead. No matter how she died, she looks peaceful now. Telescope lens. Why would he lock that up? There's something missing.
Jeremy.
Whoa. Whoa, what's going on? It's dialing in something all on its own and it's showing the way to another memory? Where is that?
Another world seeping into Deseto. Was this a taste of that mysterious tearaway?
it's wedged shut. It worked.
Detective Carnby, how good of you to come. Let me pour you a drink.
What happened here? This place looks like it was hit by a bomb.
Welcome to the madhouse, Detective.
Thanks. Did the ceiling just collapse?
I heard it was something in the attic, something that was supposed to happen but didn't. How that could have such consequences is beyond me. The truth is, I don't know why the room looks like this. But I bet your friend Jeremy does.
You know where I could find him?
Oh, somewhere in his past, I suppose. He keeps going on about that mysterious dark man. I think he is hiding from him. Or maybe he's with him. I can't really keep up. I don't worry much. Take a look around this room. You may think it looks spectacularly devastated, but I just think it's finally found its stride. It fits perfectly with the state of this place and its loonies. The same goes for the nonsense with Jeremy. In my eyes, we finally managed to match the wild ride inside all of us.
Well, I'm happy you find the evening so harmonious. I hope you don't mind me setting things right. Jeremy's business, that is. This room looks beyond my capabilities.
Good luck, Detective. Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah. Evening, miss.
There is a big difference from the original game in this one. You can meet a lot of different characters. In the original one, I decided since the beginning that, because it was easier to do, that you will not meet any other character.
And as you all know by now, we didn't follow that suggestion. No, we chose to incorporate quite a lot of characters, just because we thought it would be fun. I guess we're a little less alone in the dark, but we're fine with it.
need the key.
In the grand parlor, you can find a piano that has crashed through the ceiling. And this is a reference to the original game. The first quest, basically, that you get as a player is that you're told there's a piano in the attic, and you should go and investigate it. So early on in our game as well, the idea would be that you get this very same quest. But as you have to pass the grand parlor, we thought it would be fun to find the piano having sort of crashed through the ceiling and made a whole mess, because kind of saying this is sort of what the original, this game is sort of like the original, but not quite.
It was very fun to see the piano that went down from the attic to the ground. Yep, in the first game, the piano was here more to find a reason for the player to go upstairs more than anything else.
On the commonplace of evil, there lies virtue and stark irreverence, careless thoughts of luminous indifference. But blame not the beast we once were, which science so often wished to refer. Not the wicked full of sin, it is you who stand and grin. All our good intentions aside, whereupon we build our pride. Sunless solitude, follow not this corrupting light. Prophets of confidence always crashes out of sight. Hear me, for we all bear this mark. Thus we must remain alone in the dark.